In August 2006, attorney Robert Wone spent the night at a friend's DuPont Circle home and was found less than an hour later, stabbed 3 times, yet surrounded by almost no blood. The 3 men who lived there claimed an intruder slipped in and out unnoticed, but detectives quickly doubted that story. There were no signs of forced entry, and the scene appeared disturbingly staged. Paramedics described the housemates as freshly showered, calm, and unhelpful, while a kitchen knife, too clean to be the murder weapon, sat by the bed. With no physical evidence tying anyone to the killing, prosecutors could only charge the men with obstruction and evidence tampering, and all were later acquitted. So what the hell really happened? I'm Mike.
I'm Ian.
And I'm Dave. If you love the 80s classic 3 Men and a Baby, stick around. It's time for the lighthearted sequel, 3 Men and a Corpse, and no one saw a fucking thing. This is Necronomipod.
I have a little bit of a pre-concert boner as we record this in a few days. I finally get to see Yo-Yo Ma. I'm very excited.
Pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to say I have some pre-cum leaking out of my penis.
Not yet. Maybe. I don't know where that's going to go. We'll see. We'll ride this one out. As of right now, there's no pre-cum leaking out of my penis. Stay tuned to
Until Yo-Yo Ma hits the stage, right?
Stay tuned to my
like
OnlyFans. We'll see where this takes us.
That'll be fun.
It should be. I hope so. It's gonna be a once in a lifetime experience.
Yeah.
He does not tour very regularly, and it's getting up there in age. So
I hope he doesn't die the night before your show.
I certainly hope so too, pal.
Trying to put good cheer out into the world.
Also, how dare you? What's going on in your guys' lives? Anything fun? We had a time change recently. It's very dark, like at 5 o'clock.
Yeah, it'll be a whole week before I get back on track with sleeping.
Yeah.
Fucked up every year. It's awful. Dumbest shit in the world.
Yeah, it's not fun.
Mm-mm.
Nah, I hate it.
The mornings are a little better because it's brighter earlier. But then, like, man, by 4:30, like the sun's setting, and you're like, what the fuck am I supposed to do?
No. Sleep. That's it.
That's it. What can you do? But who can sleep when you have such a good show like we have tonight?
Boom.
I can't sleep. I was thinking about it all night long. I was like, I can't wait to record this one. This is a fun one to discuss.
This enthusiasm is fantastic.
Yeah, hell yeah, man. Let's go. Maybe it's because I have a fucking black cherry high noon in front of me. Literally the worst flavor you can have of a high noon.
Those aren't good.
They're not great.
No.
I feel like that would taste like cherry cough medicine or something.
It doesn't taste like a cherry starburst, which I think is phenomenal. It does not taste like that. Maybe the cherry cough medicine's a good way to put it. I don't know. I don't remember cherry cough medicine.
Yuck.
Yuck.
Yeah.
Blah.
Blah.
Dude, I used to go to war when I was a kid to not take liquid cough medicine. Like, it would be a battle to get me to take it.
Yep.
I would just close my mouth as tight as I could.
But
Here
like,
comes the plane into the hangar.
he's like, fuck off. He's like, get fucked, Grandpa.
Nowadays, I'd kill for a nice slurp of lean sitting on my desk here while I'm doing the show. Cough syrup.
Now, Dimetap used to be the shit. I used to love Dimetap.
That's tasty.
Yeah.
Fuck all that shit. I can't do it.
No. Oh man. I'd sip on some Dimetap right now. I'd put a little vodka in it probably.
What is I don't even remember what that is. That was everywhere, and then it's not even a word you hear ever again.
Dave, I don't even want to know what was in it. I just know it was good times. That was the shit. It was purple, right? It was purple. It was our purple drink.
Yeah, purple.
That was our purple drink.
Cough, cold, and allergy symptoms. That's what it says.
Yeah. That sounds delicious right now.
You know, when like a kid throws a fit and just like kind of fucks up the whole day, like the rest of the day is just kind of has a vibe. That's what I would do over cough medicine.
I believe it.
That red stuff, whatever it was so bad. It was awful.
Or like the amoxicillin, right? This kind of bubblegum flavor. That was the shit that tasted really bad.
I never had to take
amoxicillin.
I never had to take the bubblegum stuff that I remember.
Awful.
It was either the
that stuff's
red.
gross.
Yeah, it was either the red horrible shit or it was Dimetap, and you won the lottery if you got to take Dimetap.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Ian, what tasted worse, Marvin's cum or the cough syrup? You can
cough syrup.
Okay. So you can plead the fifth if you want.
Well, okay. That was a start. I did not expect to go down that road.
Sure.
Yeah.
Now I got PTSD, like thinking of what the shit tastes like.
I don't think that black cherry quite has the medicine taste. It's just not a good flavor. I don't know. And I'm someone that loves like cherry flavored stuff. Like I said, like cherry, the red Starburst, cherry Kool-Aid. Like that's all fucking, that's bomb.com. This one, more rotten.com.
If only.
Did I ever tell you guys the first time I went to rotten.com? I was probably older than I should have been because I didn't have internet for a long time growing up. But one of the photos I saw was a guy, and looking back, I think he was getting his leg treated, but they had covered his leg in maggots to like eat like the disease, like the bacteria out of it.
Yeah. I
did not sleep that entire night. I just I kept tossing and turning, thinking of this guy's leg covered in maggots, and it was horrible. It was horrible. I was 37. I'm just kidding. I wasn't 30. But still, that was horrible.
That's a legitimate treatment that they use.
I know. At the time, I didn't know, and I thought he just legitimately had a leg covered in maggots, because he looked like he might have been homeless or something, And I remember tossing and turning all night thinking about that.
Yeah, it's kind of gross.
My little virgin mind could not handle that.
What do you think that feels like if you're laying there and on your necrotic leg and they put like a bunch of maggots all and they're just crawling, eating you?
I bet you can't feel it though. Right? Do you think you could even feel it? Or if it is all just like dead cells?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, you probably can't even feel it.
Oh, I don't want to start thinking. I don't want to have another night like that. See? Now you guys know what I was thinking about. It's like thousands of maggots on it.
You're gonna have maggot brain tonight.
I remember the first thing I on rotten.com was a picture of a lady that had been shot with a shotgun. It's fucking terrifying, super graphic.
God.
But I was just thinking about how that's kind of wild how that just fucking scarred our minds that we were that's just something that we remember.
We have no business.
Sure our whole generation can probably pinpoint some dramatic shit that you saw online as a kid.
We had no business just having access to that.
No. Rotten.com, everybody knew about that shit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a weird website. That's a fucking weird thing to do.
What a world. What a world.
Right?
Speaking of a world, we have quite a story tonight. This is a thing that happened.
Yeah, I was kind of aware of this story. I had read the basics on this before. It's something.
Robert Eric Wone was born in 1974 in New York City and grew up in Brooklyn. He did well in school and went to the College of William and Mary in Virginia, graduating in 1996. After college, he earned a law degree from the University of Pennsylvania in 1999. People who knew him said he was really nice, grounded. You know, he had a lot going for him, bright future, kind of guy that would help anybody out. His legal career moved really fast. He passed the bar, spent a year clerking for a federal judge in Virginia, then joined Covington and Burling in Washington, D.C. In 2002, at a legal conference, he met Kathy Yu, a fellow attorney, and they got married in June of 2003 and settled in Oakton, Virginia.
Just to clarify, I have not passed the bar, but I do know a little bit.
All right.
I have never passed a bar. I always stop and go inside of it.
There you go.
Over the next few years, Robert became active in the Asian American legal community and took on leadership roles. He was slated to become president of a bar association for Asian Pacific American lawyers. By 2006, he left the firm to become general counsel for Radio Free Asia in downtown D.C. That job meant a long commute from Oakton, and he stayed late a lot. He wanted to make a good impression in this new job, so working late had become a routine that summer.
I don't like to work late personally.
He says on 9/16 at 9/16 on a Monday night.
I'd say I liked it though.
He's having a miserable time with us, Ian.
Robert decided he would sometimes stay overnight in the city if he worked super late instead of driving back to Virginia exhausted. He had a close college friend, Joe Price, who lived near DuPont Circle in Washington and had offered him a place to crash. Joe was a few years older and had mentored Robert at William and Mary. Like Robert, Joe was a DC lawyer and he was a partner at Arndt Fox. Joe lived at 1509 Swann Street Northwest, a 3-story row house in DuPont Circle, with his longtime partner, Victor Zaborski, and their close friend, Dylan Ward. The three were gay and in a polyamorous relationship. They called themselves a family. Robert, who was straight, he said that he got married to his wife, Kathy. He knew this going in. They were all friends. He's cool with it. So on a typical day in early August 2006, he took Joe up on an offer to stay the night.
Is that called a throuple? Is that the term for that? Three-way relationship, a throuple?
I don't know. Is that what it is?
I don't know. I think so.
It seems like a lot.
Declan keeps trying to make that happen over here. Stay in the basement, pal.
Fucking Declan tries to put his little winky in anything that moves. I don't think he knows what he is, what he wants, or, you know, what turns him on. He's just a fucking little horny pervert.
That's true.
He's already in it. We keep him in a cage to sleep. I might have to get him a cock cage here pretty soon if he just keeps coming all over your basement. We'll see.
I don't even know what to say to that.
Don't say anything. Just when the package shows up, just make sure he locks himself in it.
Right. I don't have to actually do the locking, right?
No. Just send your wife.
Himself.
Your wife can do it.
August 2nd, 2006 was a Wednesday. Robert worked late to meet night shift staff. Around 9:30 p.m., he called his wife Kathy in Virginia and said he was going to be staying at Joe's place instead of coming home. From his office, Robert went to Joe's place and arrived around 10:30 p.m. According to what the housemates later told police, Robert took a quick shower, borrowed a gray College of William and Mary t-shirt, a pair of gym shorts, and settled onto the pull-out couch in the second floor office that they used as a guest room. By around 11 p.m., they said the house was calm.
11 p.m., everything's looking good. No problems. Everyone's calm.
And this is a very typical setup. He would stay here all the time. Between about 11 p.m. and 11:30 p.m., a neighbor nearby heard a loud scream from the direction of Swann Street, but couldn't tell who screamed or why. Inside the house, the three later told police they heard their door alarm chime for a door opening, and almost immediately Victor heard a scream upstairs. Joe said the noise woke him, and he went to check. They said they went into the guest room and found Robert collapsed on the pull-out bed, stabbed and bleeding.
Who screamed then? Who do we think screamed?
Who do I think screamed?
Oh, we can wait. I'm just talking out loud.
Because
Getting ahead of myself. That's okay.
He wants answers right now.
we'll talk about the amount of time that goes past without a 911 call. But they do place a call at 11:49 p.m. and we have that phone call. It's a little long, but I think it's worth listening to the full thing, based on all like the discussion later on.
DC Emergency 911 operator 6752. Do you need police, fire, or ambulance?
Immediately, we need an ambulance.
What's wrong, ma'am?
We had someone that was in our house, evidently, and they stabbed somebody.
Okay, somebody's inside the house now?
I don't know. We heard.
Are they bleeding? You see someone bleeding?
Someone is bleeding in our house.
Okay, where's they bleeding from?
I think in the stomach.
In the stomach? Is he cautious? Calm down for me. I'm going to send some help, okay? Female or male?
It's a male. He's a friend of ours. He was spending the night with us.
Okay, and who was the person that stabbed him? Do you know? Is he conscious?
We need an ambulance.
Ma'am, listen to me.
He's not conscious.
He's not conscious at all?
No. We need someone right now.
Is he breathing? Listen to me. Calm down. I'm going to help you, okay? Is he breathing?
I'm upstairs, and he's downstairs. I don't know.
Okay, who's downstairs with him?
My partner is downstairs with him right now. He told me to go upstairs and call the police immediately. I just went to the stairs.
Okay, who's the person? Okay, I'm sending paramedics and the police. Okay, who's the person that stabbed him?
I don't know. We think it's somebody with an intruder in the house. We heard the chime at the door.
And it's 15, ma'am, calm down. 1509 Swann Street, Northwest. Am I correct?
Yes, it is.
The person that stabbed him, is he still in the home?
I don't know.
We got help en route, okay?
Pardon me?
We have help en route.
Thank you. They're here.
They are en route to you now. I'm sending the police and the paramedics, okay, to assist. Okay, what I need you to do is go downstairs, okay? The place wherever he was stabbed at, I need you to get a dry cloth, okay? And just apply pressure to that area. If he was wherever he was stabbed at on his body, I need you to take a towel downstairs while you're waiting for the paramedics to arrive and just apply pressure. Even if the rag or towel is saturated with blood, just get another towel and put it on top, but never lift the first towel off the area. Hold it on. Once it gets filled up with blood, just put another towel on top of that and just apply pressure until the paramedics arrive.
Pressure until
yes.
On the legs.
Yeah.
We're stabbed in the heart.
In the heart?
Yes. In the center of his chest.
Okay. Is he breathing?
Is he breathing?
We have help en route now, okay? You don't know who it was?
I have no idea. So don't touch this.
Okay, is he breathing?
He's breathing, but he needs help now.
Okay, we have help en route, ma'am, okay? We do have help en route. Okay, just go down there and try to tell your husband or your the other half to just try to keep him calm and talk to him, okay? Keep him calm and talk to him until someone gets there. Okay. And at the same time, get a dry cloth and just hold it right there in the area.
My partner's holding holding it on him.
Okay, and once it gets saturated with blood, tell him get another one. Go get another towel so you can apply it on top of that one once it gets filled up with blood. Okay, we need you to apply pressure on that area.
He is applying pressure right now.
Okay, just hold it there until the paramedics get there. They should be pulling up any moment if they're already en route to your location. You don't know who did this.
We have no idea who did this.
Is the door open so they can get in?
We don't know how they got in.
Okay, but I'm asking you now, is the door open so the paramedics can get in once they get here?
What? Sorry. What were you saying?
Is the door open so they can get in? Is the door open so the paramedics can get in the home?
I'm going to go down.
Is this a private home or apartment?
It's a home.
It's a home. It's 1509 Swann Street, Northwest.
The person had one of our knives.
The person that stabbed him ran out the door with a knife?
I think so.
Okay, anybody get any type of description of the person that came in the
I
home?
have no idea. We have no description. We heard the chime, and we heard the scream from our friends.
Okay.
And so we came running downstairs. We ran in.
So you both was upstairs and your friend was downstairs?
Yes.
You heard the door open and then you heard the scream?
I didn't hear the door open until after the scream, and then we ran down the stairs and we heard, we have an alarm, and so the chime went off.
Okay.
Is the ambulance, please, we really need the ambulance.
Okay, they en route now, ma'am. Go to the door. They should be pulling up any moment, okay?
I'm afraid to go downstairs.
Okay, the person who's downstairs was the person that was assaulted.
No, we're on the second floor.
Okay, so somebody need to go downstairs, open the door for the paramedics. You're not sure if that person's still in the home or
I
not?
have no idea.
Okay, we have paramedics en route, okay?
What time is it?
What time is it at the moment?
Yes.
23:54. It's 11:54, ma'am.
54.
Yes.
I mean,
I'll stay on the line with you. I will stay on the line until somebody gets here, okay? I won't hang up.
we need them right now. I'm not hanging up, but we need help now.
Okay, they en route, ma'am. They are en route. Let me know when you hear the paramedics. Can you look out the window and see if you hear them coming?
I'm looking out the window and I see nothing. I see nobody.
Okay, it seems like forever, but they are en route, ma'am. They're coming.
Here they are. Here they are.
They're there.
I'm going downstairs.
Okay. I'll stay on the line with you till you open the door for the paramedics, okay?
Help us. We have someone was stabbed. They're on our second floor.
Ma'am?
No, it's really an emergency. I mean, he maybe... Please hurry.
Ma'am, it's going to be okay.
So my first impression of the 911 call, the thing that stands out to me first is how there's like the waterworks in the beginning of the call, and it gradually just stops to where there's like no emotion, and then as soon as the EMT gets there, the waterworks come back on again.
Oh, absolutely. Turned it way up to max as soon as the paramedics exited. Yeah. It's very, I don't know. The whole thing about the knives, like they took our knives. How are you supposing that already?
Yeah.
And she's like, someone left with your knives? Like, or whatever he said. But yeah, I think so. That's something you talked about before you got on the phone.
Yeah.
You wouldn't notice someone in your house was stabbed and then make this assumption that someone ran out the door with your knives. They have our knives.
That's not the first thing you're going to notice when you find your friend stabbed to death.
Yeah. Yeah. And also, if you thought somebody was still in the house, don't you think you'd be acting, I don't know, a little more scared than sad? It just seemed put on, you know?
When at one point he's afraid to run downstairs to let the EMS in, EMTs, and then immediately doesn't bring it up again and runs right down and lets them in.
Yeah. I think you'd be more cautious. Whatever you're doing. He was walking around a little bit on the phone with him. It sounded like he went downstairs, with the other person. Like, wouldn't you be thinking that someone just got murdered in your house and someone's going to jump out from around the corner and stab you too?
Yeah, right. You'd be hiding like in your closet or under your bed or somewhere, being like, there's somebody in the house, I think.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I'm pretty sure at one point I heard him making a Hot Pocket. I know the sounds of making a Hot Pocket, and I'm pretty sure he was making one in a toaster oven. I believe, based on the sound, it was the turkey cheddar broccoli Hot Pocket.
And then the cooling off period, that's like 30 minutes.
Well,
that.
you want a 911 call. You want a 911 call. You bite into one of those fresh out of the oven, you're going to be calling fucking 911.
Oh, my God, yeah. So very suspicious off the bat.
Yeah, that whole knife thing is crazy suspicious. Like, if you just, like, I'm trying to think if we were all like crashing somewhere and like one of you guys was found dead, that would, like, first thing I would think of is not to say, oh, I think they left with our knives.
Yeah. Where does that come from? That's very strange.
Motherfuckers took my charcuterie board. Mike's bleeding out in the basement, but he took my fucking charcuterie board.
That's from Crate and Barrel. It was expensive.
That was Williams and Sonoma.
EMTs got there within 5 minutes of the 911 call being played. The paramedics went to the second floor guest room. Robert was laying flat on his back on the pull-out bed, unconscious and unresponsive. He was still dressed in a t-shirt, gym shorts, and underwear. He had 3 apparent stab wounds in his chest and abdomen. One of the wounds had pierced his heart, which they said that on the 911 call, which is, I don't know. It's just a weird thing to specifically, like, he was stabbed in his heart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very, very much so.
Yeah. And if you were stabbed in your heart, you'd think there'd be a ton of blood, but there was very little blood on Robert. The medics saw only a few spots on the bed and on Robert's t-shirt. There was no heavy bleeding. The bedding underneath him looked almost undisturbed and neatly in place. It looked too clean. One of the paramedics later said it was as if Robert had been, quote, stabbed, showered, redressed, and placed in bed.
Red flags, man, all over.
That's got to be crazy as an EMT, too, because you're like, something's not right here, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, you show up, you're like, well, none of this lines up with the call we just got.
Like, what do? Do you kayfabe it and just try to get as much information as you can, maybe hear a slip up or something so you can tell the police?
I think you have to. But at the same time, like, are you also, like, you're probably radioing and like, hey, we need police here as well, right?
Yeah,
like,
very soon. Yeah.
They're like, by the way, cops, we need you here.
Well, it's an active crime scene, so I'm sure you got to be on guard, because who knows?
Well, that's true.
Who's going to jump out of a closet or something?
I'm assuming the cops were on their way as well, you know, with them. But
She said she sent both of them, yeah.
yeah.
Paramedic Goofy, what do you think about this?
Something wrong here.
Thank you for that expert input, Goofy. Excuse me, Detective Goofy.
That was the rest of the 911 call. That was right after there.
It's just him going, something wrong here. Yeah.
What do you think if we call 911 with the Goofy soundboard? 911, what's your emergency?
I think they're going
Something wrong here.
Then they go, Goofy, what's wrong?
I think they're going to find your number, track where you're at, and then cops are going to come and beat the fuck out of you.
Yeah, I'm doing some mountain climbing and I got a little stuck.
Jesus Christ.
Goofy, are you there?
I miss bootleg Goofy.
The paramedics also noted how the 3 housemates looked and acted. Joe Price was in the room when they got there, sitting on the edge of the pull-out bed near Robert's body, wearing only white briefs. He appeared very composed. An EMT asked, "What's going on?" Joe responded, quote, "I heard a scream," then stood up and walked out of the room. Victor and Dylan were in the hallway, both in white bathrobes. They looked freshly showered and very clean. In the middle of an emergency, they stood off to the side. One talked on a cell phone. Neither answered when they were asked what happened or offered to help.
This is all very suspicious behavior.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you're the EMT and these guys are wearing white robes and everything is just super clean, you're like, what the fuck?
Joe couldn't put a robe on. He's just sitting there with a pair of white briefs on. It's very odd.
The paramedics also noticed a large kitchen knife on the nightstand next to the bed, the blade smeared with blood. Robert was taken to George Washington University Hospital, a couple miles away, but the injuries were too severe. Despite efforts to revive him, he was pronounced dead at 12:25 a.m. on August 3rd, 2006. That night, police separated Joe, Victor, and Dylan and brought all three to the homicide unit for questioning. In the early morning hours of August 3rd, detectives interviewed each in separate rooms. All three gave the same account. They said they went to bed around 11 p.m. and were asleep in their rooms when an unknown intruder entered the house and attacked Robert in the guest room. The only sounds they said that they heard were the door chime and a scream. They said that they did not see the struggle or the intruder and did not know who this intruder would be. They said they found Robert minutes before calling 911 and in the shock and confusion delayed the call slightly, but we're talking like potentially like 20 minutes to, the higher end, a half hour delay.
That is not the definition of slightly. No. Really weird, man.
And
really weird.
The detectives are immediate, like red flags everywhere, talking to the three of them because of how uniform their stories were. Like, one of the things I was reading with one of the detectives that spoke to them were saying, like, in shock and that, like, say nobody's responsible for the murder, right? Like, they really did find an accident. There would be some differences between the story because everyone's in shock, upset, but they'll, you can fit it all together. Mm. But theirs was just like uniform, perfect, and they never strayed away from it.
They didn't have that much time to put together a story. I think like when you rehearse a story like that, how much time do you need? But they didn't have that much time, right?
No.
It's pretty good.
The Menendez brothers didn't have it either. They didn't have a lot of time.
Yeah.
To rehearse theirs. I would argue the Menendez fake one is better than this.
Wow.
Clearly fake one.
Who had the better fake 911 call? Now we're talking.
Yeah, this is pretty bad.
At least the waterworks with Eric were consistent throughout the whole call. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
He gave a command performance for sure.
From the start of the investigation, detectives didn't believe the story of an unknown intruder. There were no signs of forced entry, no broken windows or doors messed with. The front door was closed and locked. The back door was unlocked, but to reach it, an outsider would have to climb an 8-foot fence and come through a gated back courtyard. Nothing was stolen or disturbed. Expensive electronics, cash, and personal valuables were untouched. Robert's wallet, cell phone, and watch were in plain view.
So I'm going to start with a baseline that someone in that house killed this guy, and I'm going to treat that as the truth when I ask questions about it, because that's the only logical explanation, I think. When Robert got there that night, do we know if all three of them were home? Like, could it be as simple as they forgot to tell someone that wasn't there that Robert was staying that night, and like he got up and was walking around and they thought it was someone in the house? Or
I'm under the impression they were all there.
They were all there, so they all definitely knew Robert was staying there. Okay.
Right.
All right.
Logic tells you one of them is responsible for this.
Yeah. But we'll keep an open mind.
We'll talk about it later. Lois Goslanowski, the deputy medical examiner, conducted the autopsy. Robert had no defensive wounds on his arms or hands, which suggested he was incapacitated, unconscious, or immobilized when he was stabbed. Lois documented small puncture marks that did not come from the knife on the left side of his neck, 3 in the center of his chest, 2 on the top of his right foot, and 1 on the back of his left hand. She questioned whether these were injection sites or possibly caused by a stun gun, potentially.
Ew. Creepy. I mean, and when we say incapacitated, I think we can include asleep in that, right?
Yeah.
Because if you're asleep and someone stabs you quickly 3 times, you're not going to show any defensive wounds. You won't even know.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But the murder had to have taken place somewhere else because the bed was perfectly fine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like all that blood, they didn't have time
Yeah.
to clean it up.
If it was in the bed. Like there's no fucking way that.
Well, could they have changed the bedding in those 20 minutes?
Yeah, but I feel like the mattress would get blood.
You would think so. I think that makes sense, but I'm just throwing out options
and
here.
If we're saying he was killed somewhere else, then this timeline, we're throwing it out the window anyway.
Or somewhere else in the house. I don't think he was killed in.
Oh, it's just somewhere in the house.
Right.
Okay.
I don't think he was killed. Just not in that room, like in that bed.
Got it.
Maybe I'm wrong, but I just feel like if you plunged a knife into somebody's chest like that, there's no way you're not going to get it on the mattress.
You would think there'd be so much blood, it would soak through everything very quickly.
Yeah. Well, but I assume the police searched the rest of the house, right?
Yeah.
There would have been a big blood pile somewhere. Unless it was in the shower.
I was going to say, maybe they stabbed him in the
like
shower and rinsed it off. And after they all fucking took showers afterwards, it's all cleaned away.
It's very confounding.
It befuddles me, Dave.
It does indeed.
Something wrong here.
That's what we're saying, Goof.
But the medical examiner in her report, she's leaning more toward the stun gun being the cause of those marks because toxicology didn't find any opioids or any sedatives or anything in his system that would have been injected. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Lois also noted a faint facial pattern consistent with an attempted smothering.
Like to make sure you're dead after the stab wounds?
I don't know.
Or if it's someone you know, you're feeling guilty and you don't want to look in their eyes as you're killing them? Like pillow over the face while you do it?
What if it was while he was in the shower and someone came behind him with a towel over his face and then another guy started stabbing him?
Yeah, sure.
Almost like let's try to like hush you, like smother you like with a towel so you can't scream. And maybe that didn't work and someone else, because I know someone else heard a scream.
Were all these guys out?
No, they were in the house, Dave.
Like out, gay out.
Oh, yeah.
On the call,
So
he said my partner.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know. I took that as maybe you're out.
I'm just trying to, like, there's no thing where Robert could be blackmailing them or just something like that. I'm just trying to
And
cross
Robert,
off potential things here.
from everything I read, Robert was aware of that they were all, like the 3 of them were in a relationship with each other. He was cool with it.
And you said he had stayed there multiple times prior, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
The 3 stab, and this is according to the medical examiner, the 3 stab wounds to the chest were delivered with precision, likely after he was already unconscious. Based on the clinical evidence, the medical examiner concluded that this was a calculated attack carried out while Robert could not resist, and this wasn't a random break-in gone wrong. Lois also found signs that Robert was potentially sexually assaulted. She found Robert's own semen on his genitals, on his thighs, and in his rectum. The 3 friends in the house denied that they had any sexual contact with Robert, and there wasn't anything consensual planned that night or anything. Robert was just crashing on their couch.
Makes it even weirder.
Mm-hmm.
Investigators inferred whoever attacked Robert might have assaulted him while he was immobilized. And immobilized is what? Is he tied up but there wasn't any ligature marks spoken of.
Yeah. So either chemically or physically. I think we can rule out the asleep thing that I was throwing around a little bit ago.
Yeah, because toxicology didn't find anything in his system.
Is there some paralyzing agent out there that they don't check for that someone could have used?
It's weird that it was his own, what'd they say? His own cum that was, all over himself. A little odd.
Yeah. Trying to think if he could have just been cranking one out and somehow made a mess
prior to them killing him.
Yeah,
right. Like he's just doing his own thing.
Like
yeah.
somehow.
Yeah. Like is that just one of those weird things that happened to have occurred, and then we're diving into it because we're like, well, he found it all on him because that makes sense. He could have just, blew a load looking at Casey Anthony's ass or something, and then next thing you know, he's being attacked.
Yeah, or like cleaned up and wiped your ass or something by some weird
thing. Kind of spread it around.
Something like that. Yeah. Just trying to, we should exclude this from, but I guess you really can't exclude it. It's very strange.
It is. It's very odd. And I'm just trying to think if there's a plausible, could this have happened type thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. Whenever I do a cum, I just go right in my mouth. Easy cleaning. That's not.
Oh, when you're sucking your own cock at the time, it's the easiest. No cleanup involved, right?
Well, I'm no Ron Jeremy. Come on.
If you were Ron Jeremy and you had friends coming over, would you just play pranks, like leave the door unlocked and just be on the couch with your cock in your mouth when they walked in the door?
I mean, I wouldn't, but I could very much see Ron Jeremy doing that. Yeah.
You just wave at them.
Yeah. Hey, come on in. Appetizers on the bar. Help yourself.
Oh man, I'll be prepared myself fresh.
I'll be done in about 45 seconds.
Oh man.
This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. The changing season brings colder temperatures and days that grow darker. This can be a tough time for many people, feeling sluggish, unmotivated, or even depressed. This November, BetterHelp is encouraging everyone to reach out. Check in on friends, reconnect with loved ones, and be sure to remind people in your life that you're there. And just like it can take a little courage to ask someone you haven't seen in a while to go get lunch, reaching out for therapy can feel difficult too. But guess what? It's worth it. And it almost always leaves people asking, why didn't I do this sooner? BetterHelp has been helping people find their match for over 12 years, having served over 5 million people globally, and has a 4.9 out of 5 rating with 1.7 million client reviews. If you're looking for quality, BetterHelp therapists work according to a strict code of conduct and are fully licensed. With over 30,000 therapists, BetterHelp is the world's largest online therapy platform. After filling out a brief questionnaire, you'll be matched with a therapist that is tailored to fulfill your needs. And it's convenient, too. You can join with a therapist at the click of a button, helping fit therapy into your busy life. If you aren't happy with your match, switch to a different therapist at any time from their tailored recommendations. This month, don't wait to reach out. Whether you're checking in on a friend or reaching out to a therapist yourself, BetterHelp makes it easier to take that first step. Our listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/necro. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/necro.
So when police searched the house in Dylan Ward's bedroom, they found restraints, shackles, collars, specialized bondage gear, metal and leather bindings for genitalia, and an electrical shock device, aka a stun gun, and books on sexual domination and torture with passages highlighted. None of that is illegal, but in this context, it's not great, especially the whole stun gun thing.
Yeah. Winner chicken dinner here on what those marks came from and how someone might have been immobilized, right?
Yeah. And, we don't know what happened here, but it's like this something consensual that turned not consensual potentially.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Or was everybody drinking and someone got the wrong idea? And
a cadaver dog trained to sniff out blood alerted at 2 places, a drain in the backyard patio area and the lint filter of the clothes dryer. That suggested items with blood on them were rinsed outside, then dried. Forensics on the large kitchen knife on the bedside table showed Robert's blood and a fiber that matched a towel from the guest room. The blade looked wiped with that towel.
crazy they found no evidence in this house, huh? What the fuck, man?
The medical examiner also said that the knife didn't match the stab wounds. The blade size and shape was different. During the search, police noted that a knife was missing from a cutlery set in Dylan's room, and the empty slot fit the size that could have made the wounds. That knife was never found, and investigators suspected that that was the real murder weapon. That's probably the knife that they said was taken out of the house during the 911 call.
This just gets better and better. Do most people keep their cutlery sets in the room?
Well, I
Yeah,
do.
what does that, what does that
I'm
mean exactly?
I do, but I'm into blood play, so
Are you?
not even in the slightest. I would pass out immediately as soon as I saw any blood, or especially if it was my own.
I was getting a little woozy during the 911 call when they talking about when the towel soaks up the blood, just put another one on top, and I'm like, woo.
She's just nonchalantly like, yeah, just when that soaks up, just put another one on top of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's unfazed by that. He doesn't respond a single time to that at all.
Not at all. Nothing.
But then as soon as the
follow-up questions, yeah.
But then as soon as the EMT gets there, then he's crying again.
Yeah.
I don't think he even asked a single time for like any further directions about that.
Because he knew he was already dead.
And he was already cleaned
Right.
up.
Yeah, exactly.
There's no blood anywhere.
Yeah, there's nothing to do. So why ask?
Yeah, that's true. There's no blood pouring out of anywhere.
Yeah.
Even so, even if they cleaned him up and did all that, you'd think there would be some.
Like I said, there was just a couple drops. That was about it.
Yeah.
I don't know what to make of this.
So let's get into the timing. The neighbor heard the scream between 11 and 11:30 p.m. That sets the anchor. If the scream was around 11 p.m. and tied to the stabbing, an 11:49 p.m. 911 call meant over 30 minutes had passed. The 3 said that they called pretty much immediately after finding Robert, and that, like we said before, any delay was just due to the shock of this.
Not that long.
Nope.
Yeah, not 30 minutes.
Nope.
And later on, prosecutors estimated that the delay was anywhere from 19 minutes to almost 49 minutes, depending on when the stabbing occurred. If there was this substantial delay, it fits the cleanup and coordination theory. By the time paramedics arrived, the 3 of them had a narrative, that whole intruder story, and had cleaned themselves, Robert, and put the fake knife by the bed.
A fake
49
knife.
minutes gives you enough time to probably do that.
It's a long time.
A fake knife is just so fucking weird.
What's the point of the fake knife?
I don't know.
If I'm thinking like a stupid criminal, maybe get rid of the real one. And if they never find the real one, they'll never be able to figure any of this out. I don't know.
Yeah. Like a throw off type weapon. Like, oh, look, there's the weapon, but there's nothing on it. Like, oh, this is obviously the weapon, but there's no evidence on it. So what can we do? I guess like if you're really dumbing it down, I guess that makes sense.
They wiped Robert's blood on this knife. Or someone did. Someone tried to make this look like the murder weapon.
Yeah, maybe they got rid of the real one and just wiped this knife down so there was no prints or anything on it. And like you said, try to throw up a dead end type of thing. Like if they were really bad cops, you're like, oh, all right, no prints on the murder weapon.
Thanks, Goofy.
No prints on the murder weapon. There's nothing on here.
Nothing on here. That's good.
We talked about it before, how when they were questioned separately, their stories were extremely consistent down to small details like who heard the door chime, who heard the scream. And then soon after, all three of them hired defense attorneys and stopped volunteering any information. By late 2006, they were not cooperating beyond their initial statements. They maintained their innocence and stuck to the intruder story.
Mm-hmm.
And for Robert's wife, this has to feel like you're just stuck, right? Because any logical person knows what happened here.
When you're just powerless. Yeah, of course. Like, of course someone there did it.
The Metropolitan Police and the United States Attorney's Office kept working it through 2007 and 2008, convening a grand jury. Veteran prosecutor Glenn Kirshner took over in 2007 and applied pressure where they could. At one point, they publicly disclosed details from the investigation, all the BDSM stuff, and some of the really weird autopsy findings that we talked about earlier, thinking that maybe when people see how just crazy this is, there might be some public outrage that would get somebody to talk or something.
You got to try something.
The three housemates stayed loyal to each other and didn't budge. They sold the Swann Street house in June of 2008 for $1.4 million. Joe and Victor were a long-established couple, so they moved to the Virginia suburbs, staying for a time with one of Victor's relatives in McLean, while Dylan went to Florida.
The end of the throuple.
That's that.
Yeah, I suspect this put a damper on things.
Yeah. Probably not that much fun anymore.
On October 27th, 2008, D.C. police obtained an arrest warrant for Dylan. He was arrested 2 days later in a suburb in Florida. Soon after, warrants were issued for Joe and Victor back in the D.C. area, and they turned themselves in. That fall, all three were charged with obstruction of justice, conspiracy, and evidence tampering in connection with Robert's killing, accusing them of lying to investigators, destroying or altering evidence, and hindering the investigation. Prosecutors said that while they couldn't prove which one of them stabbed Robert, they believed all three knew what happened and worked together to mislead police.
I believe that to be the case.
Yep.
After the arrest, Dylan was held for about a month as he was transported and arraigned, then released pending trial. Joe and Victor surrendered and were released on bond almost immediately. Joe spent one night in jail during processing. All three pled not guilty, and through 2009, the case went through pretrial motions and discovery, with the trial starting in the summer of 2010.
Man, look how long this all took.
And that's what I was trying to say earlier with Robert's wife, Kathy. Like, all these years, and you're sitting there like logically knowing what happened here, you know, and just feeling like nothing is getting done.
Sure. Agonizing.
By agreement, it was a bench trial, so no jury, with Judge Lynn Leibowitz deciding the verdict. Assistant U.S. Attorney Glenn Kirshner put Joe at the center, stressing Joe's long friendship with Robert going back to William and Mary, that he owned the Swann Street house and invited Robert to stay, and that he was an Arndt Fox partner, visible in D.C.'s legal and LGBTQ circles, and had a bar license and a law career to protect. So in the government's telling, Joe had the most to lose if the real story came out.
And yeah, this is in D.C., so this is federal court. Interesting.
Prosecutors also put forth allegations. Things are disputed. They were never charged, but that Joe used or supplied party drugs. They folded that into a motive to contain fallout and frame the three's loyalty as a pact that, quote, cemented their allegiance, whether to each other or someone close to them. The court allowed limited context about a known fourth person the men might be protecting, but the government said that it couldn't prove who held the knife, one of the three or a fourth person, so it focused on showing all three knew what happened and then obstructed the investigation with a coordinated cleanup and rehearsed intruder story. The defense denied all of that and stuck to their intruder account. The defense said the scientific evidence wasn't ironclad. For the lack of blood, they suggested internal bleeding. And for the needle marks or, the stun gun marks, they suggested those were medical, but that the EMTs, like the EMTs were the ones that made those marks when they're injecting or, trying to set up IVs and stuff.
Yeah.
But the EMT said that they did not inject in any of those spots.
Internal bleeding, huh?
Yeah, that's a weird one.
In the stuff with the party drugs and whatever, like there was a lot of talk of LSD and shit like that, and that was more of the one with the fourth person we're going to be talking about, getting a fourth person being involved with drugs and stuff, but also that would really hurt Joe's reputation within the DC legal community, you know what I mean? With all these lawyers, if it came out that he's having these parties with, all kind of drugs and shit.
Yeah.
Enough to kill for? You be the judge.
Getting to that fourth person, prosecutors told the judge that Michael Price, Joe Price's younger brother, quote, may have been the killer, but in the same breath admitted that they didn't have enough to charge him or anyone else. When the judge pressed and asked, quote, do you have any evidence whatsoever that would put him at the crime scene that night? The lead prosecutor just simply said no. They didn't have.
No. God damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the point of raising Michael wasn't to prove murder. It's to argue motive, that the three housemates knew who did it and protected that person. The prosecutor said that Michael Price had a key to the Swann Street house and knew the alarm code, which, if true, would remove the break-in hurdle. They also told the court he missed a phlebotomy class the evening Robert was killed, a class he had been attending. So investigators suspected that Robert was possibly incapacitated by an intravenous drug. But that would get into what you said, Dave, like something that slip detection, potentially.
Yeah. A phlebotomy murder, perhaps.
Also, just such a terrible answer as a prosecutor. No. Like, you can't even spin it and, like, just not answer the question, but kind of say something else. Just to say no. Ugh.
The news article that I got, that's the for real was in the news article. No, period.
That's a horrible answer.
I meant to do that.
Thanks, Pee-wee.
Michael's partner, Lewis Hinton, gave him an alibi for that night. In the court documents that I read, it said, quote, returned home, spent the night eating dinner and watching television with his partner, Lewis Hinton.
Solid alibi, right?
That checks.
That's
that
what my
checks
alibi
out.
would be most nights.
Yeah, that checks out. I don't know what you want from me.
Prosecutors also brought up a second event. On October 30th, 2006, 2 months after the murder, the Swann Street house was burglarized. Court filings and reporting said Michael used spare keys to go in with an acquaintance, Phelps Collins, and electronics were taken. Police later recovered pawned items. Phelps Collins told police he and Michael went in using Michael's keys. A warrant was issued. Michael was charged with second-degree burglary, ordered into a drug treatment program in January 2007, and after he completed the program, the charges were dismissed in August 2007. In the obstruction trial against the three we've been talking about tonight, the government cast the burglary as proof the housemates protected people close to them and delayed reporting because Joe insisted on protecting his brother.
It's a really thin case.
It's crazy because logically you know what happened here, but the way the case is being presented is not great.
It's not at all.
This is a case of where the bench trial is really going to work out. I think a jury would have seen this differently.
Absolutely. I think you can learn a lot by watching how, this guy who's an attorney approaches this. And, same story, lawyer up, don't say another word, bench trial. I mean, as a guilty person, as a supposedly guilty person, I think they did everything right here.
Prosecutors laid out examples of Michael's erratic behavior. At Robert's funeral, a detective said that Michael confronted her with a profanity-laced outburst about why the police were harassing Joe instead of looking for the real killer. They wanted that admitted as, quote, consciousness of guilt. The judge didn't allow it on that alone and told them to bring more on Michael's state of mind if they wanted it in. Separately, the government put forth drug allegations in late 2008, and they framed Michael as having, bringing up all his drug issues. Context, they said, mattered if the court believed the three were protecting someone they knew.
Really going all out on this Michael angle, huh?
They really are.
Yeah, because what they have to prove, if it's an obstruction charge, there has to be someone they're protecting, right? Is that like they have to prove? Do they have to show that?
I'm not sure.
I mean, we're not judges. Like, we don't know how to think about law. You know what I mean? Or
We should be. We should be the Supreme Court.
I think if it was just the three of them protecting each other, you can make the case for obstruction based on your actions. I don't think it needs to involve a fourth person.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. Regarding the alibi, the court heard that Michael's partner said that Michael was with him that evening. He said watching TV. Judge Leibowitz compelled the partner, Lewis, to testify despite a Fifth Amendment attempt and allowed limited brother context into the obstruction case. But the judge's point stayed the same. There was no direct place and time evidence putting Michael in the guest room that night. This was an obstruction trial, not a murder case.
Makes sense.
None of the defendants testified. Their lawyers made the case through cross-examination and closing arguments, telling the judge that suspicion and unusual behavior are not crimes, and that the government hadn't proved a deliberate cover-up beyond a reasonable doubt. After weeks of testimony, the trial ended in late June 2010. On June 29th, the judge found all three not guilty on every count. She said that she didn't believe the intruder story, noting that there was no forced entry or burglary, and she rejected the idea that Michael Price or anyone else came in that night. But she said the government's case was circumstantial and didn't rule out other explanations for the odd facts. For the minimal blood, she said gravity and internal bleeding could explain it. She said it was plausible that Joe wiped near the wounds while trying to help, which could account for smeared blood. On the timing, she said the government hadn't proved when the stabbing happened, so she couldn't find a deliberate delay in the 911 call. She went through each element of conspiracy and obstruction and said that the evidence fell short. Any differences in the men's accounts, she said, were minor and could come from stress, not lies. She was pretty blunt about their demeanor. The judge said the interrogation videos showed Joe Price that he came across as arrogant, evasive, and dismissive of the investigators. Victor seemed oddly unmotivated to find who killed his friend in some of his 911 comments, like saying that the knife belonged to them struck her as, quote, calculated to create a narrative. Dylan appeared distant, detached, like if an intruder had been in the house, he had every reason to be fearful and engaged. She said the three had strong incentive to protect each other, but in her words, quote, suspicion, gut feelings, and logical inference aren't proof. She said the government failed to show that each man had specific knowledge actively interfered. She allowed it was possible one or more didn't know the full story. If one might be innocent of a cover-up, conspiracy fails because it requires a knowing agreement by all three. In the end, she said something was amiss, but reasonable doubt was there.
Like one of them could have snuck up there, killed them. The other two don't even know it.
Yeah.
Maybe to this day they still don't know it.
I don't buy that.
Yeah, that's kind of hard to believe.
Yeah. I think it's what you said, Dave. It's this. Well, I don't know if you said it was being able to afford an expensive lawyer, but that's what I'm going to say. Like these guys were able to afford like very high end defense attorneys. So doing that mixed with the bench trial.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Well, it's just what happens when you can afford justice.
Yeah.
Right.
Like if you were poor when the police came to your house and there was a dead body in there, like, yeah, I don't know. I think someone broke in and like you would have been arrested that night.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have been years going by and then they finally charge you with obstruction of justice. That's what's going to happen.
Right. We've seen that 1,000 times doing this show.
Mm-hmm.
In late 2010, after the acquittal, Robert's wife, Kathy, filed a wrongful death lawsuit against Joe, Victor, and Dylan. In civil court, the burden is lower, a preponderance of the evidence. She alleged they were responsible for Robert's killing and the cover-up and sought damages. In 2011, they reached an out-of-court settlement. The terms weren't public, but the men agreed to pay an undisclosed sum. The deal barred them from profiting from Robert's story. They couldn't write any books or any movie deals and included no admission of wrongdoing. Public attention faded after that. There were no further criminal proceedings. The police never identified any other suspect. You know, spoiler alert, that's like Casey Anthony, like when she, like, who killed Kaylee then? Yeah. You know what I mean?
Right.
You could come up with a million different ways of scenarios that could have played out in that house.
Yeah. I read before we move on, in the civil trial, they all pled the fifth when asked if they killed him.
Huh.
Which
interesting.
Nobody said no. Which legally is the smart thing to do, but just I think is something you need to point out.
It seems that those three will take this to their grave.
Yeah.
Which is very
someone knows the
unfortunate
truth.
Yeah.
Yeah, the three of them who killed this guy.
Like I was thinking Dylan's not with them anymore, so maybe there was a scenario where Dylan comes forward with the truth, and since the relationship's since the throuple is no more.
Does the truth just bring him, it's going to bring him down too.
Yeah. Maybe he'll get into trouble someday. He'll need to trade it. But then
That's
who knows if he's telling the truth, though?
That's probably the only way something will come out, right? If they were kind of stuck back against the wall kind of thing.
Yeah. Need to deal their way out of it. Yep, I agree. So what do you think? Like unwanted advances towards Robert one night and things just got heated? Or everyone was doing drugs, everyone was drinking, everyone was fucked up. But like you said, it's so open. It could be anything. That's the trouble with these cases.
I feel like it's safe to say that like everything talked about him being incapacitated and stuff. I think the BDSM stuff, like the shackles and whatever, would have been used to do that. I don't think he was chemically like knocked out or anything like that. But was it something consensual that went off the rails, or
Sure.
I don't know.
Because if you're restrained like that with bondage stuff and you start struggling, you're going to come up with some sort of ligature type bruising.
Yeah, there'd be some kind of signs,
right?
There'd be some kind of
Something, at least a little bit.
Yeah,
Trace
issues.
them out.
Yeah. But then what? Like, did they have them on like latex sheets that they just like wrapped up and threw away somewhere that there's no blood?
Maybe you have like sheeting type stuff when you're in a violent BDSM stuff. There's blood play involved, so you. I don't know. I'm just making
I'm not
go here. I have no fucking idea.
I mean, somewhere out there, somebody probably has tarps prepared for whatever they're into. You know what I mean? Which
Maybe
I'm
it
not
was a
kidding.
lot of internal bleeding. You know, maybe that was real
Seems awfully odd.
for a violent stabbing like that. But
Right.
I'm sure it's possible.
I had like, what would the motive be to actually kill him? Like, I don't
That's
know.
like the weirdest part of this is just you have no idea of what a motive is.
Yeah. But if next year someone came up and we found out the whole story and they gave some weird motive and we're like, oh, hey, that makes sense. It's something you would have never even considered.
Maybe so.
Maybe somebody was embezzling and someone came up. It just could be anything. I don't think we're going to solve this tonight.
Are we on the same page that we believe that these three guys did it? Or at least they are aware of it, if not all of them were participants?
I would agree with that, yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
There's no fourth, in my opinion, there's no fourth person.
Yeah. No Michael getting dragged into all this?
No.
What was the scream? Like when they stabbed him and he was when he was incapacitated, it woke him up or something and he screamed? They were holding him
Yeah, I guess
down and stabbed him and he screamed.
Yeah. Maybe the start of whatever the fuck it was that happened.
Mm-hmm.
Loud enough for a neighbor to hear.
That's loud, right?
Yeah. The lack of evidence just makes it so difficult.
Yeah.
To even like think of like feel confident in like a theory of what had occurred.
The crazy thing is you have cadaver dogs in this, but even the cadaver dogs are circumstantial because they hit on the drain and the dryer lint trap, but they didn't. There's like no blood evidence there. You know what I mean? Like there's no concrete evidence with either of those still.
With the
They
drain,
hit on it, but that doesn't prove anything. Yeah.
the drain is interesting because it could have just been washed down. But the dryer, you would think there'd be some kind of residual evidence, maybe, right?
Apparently not. They did good laundry.
Yeah.
I in a state of shock and on a spur of the moment like this, someone did a very good cleanup job, which just seems unlikely.
Yeah, you're not doing that in a state of shock.
Yeah.
And also, why would you be? If it was like, if I found one of you dead, I'm not thinking, oh, I got to change these sheets and clean it up.
Right.
Like that's just not what crosses my mind.
And even if you accidentally killed this guy, there's going to be some sort of discussion, right, about what to do. You're not going to automatically go.
It would be
"All right,
sloppier.
take him outside and hose him off.
Yeah. Yep.
It's just that someone was able to do all this in this short time frame. I guess 49 minutes is a long time, but it's not that long.
Agreed.
If you're talking 19 minutes, then I'm like, but that's really fast. But I don't like you throw another 20 on there.
But it's just something you'd have to yeah. It's not something your normal everyday average person would be like, all right, we got to do this has his bullet points. It's going to immediately come to mind on the action you need to take in the next 20 minutes.
Right.
Or did they just really get lucky? Because the knife is so stupid. Like trying to plant the wrong knife.
Now, that's something you might come up with real quick off the cuff that sounds good in your shocked mind,
Yeah,
but
right.
doesn't really make any sense when you think it
Yeah.
through.
Because that doesn't make any sense to try and to do that. Who knows? Probably like you said, it would be something very simple.
Yeah.
If you ever got the truth.
Are there any bears in DC? You guys have any idea?
There probably
Asking
are a
for
few.
friend.
Yeah, there might be a few. Okay, well, I think you said it, Dave. I don't know if we're solving this one. This might take some other evidence that pops up.
Yeah, man. It's rough. That poor wife. Wonder how much money she got. Not that it's important, but I'm just curious.
I hope she got paid. Mm-hmm. Ian, anything else on your end that you found with this the show? Any interesting notes, tidbits, anything else?
Yeah, hold on 1 second. Let me grab it. There's a Peacock series that came out like two-ish years ago called Who Killed Robert Wone. So check that out. It's out there.
Peacock? The old cock? All right.
Yep.
It was good. You watched it?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Any other final thoughts on this one? Do we think we're going to hear anything else on this one?
Never. I don't think you'll hear another word on
it.
Okay. I hope that's not the case because it's very sad, but no, probably not.
All right. Dave, what do you got for us on Patreon?
2 new patrons, Janine Curry, JJ, Megan Scheel, Christopher RV, College Mike's Crusty Sock. Blech.
I never needed a sock,
Lauren,
pal.
What's that?
I didn't need a sock in college, pal. I had his mom.
Lauren Cantrell, Lean Mean Ed Gein Machine, Christopher Gustafson, Harambe, long live Harambe, Peggy the Dog, Amanda, Diana Ramirez, Shelby Schlechty, Kelly McLean, Juanita Arnold. My husband introduced me to Necronomicon, and all he got was cucked by Mike. It's a good deal. Jake Ball, Smokey Spice, Get Chrissy D on the horn, Father Bill, Creamed Mike Horn, Jonathan Pepper, Jacqueline Jade, Grady's Baby Gravy Incorporated, Jason, Dominic Gallo, Jer Lotfula, Tom Brady learned to kiss his kids on the lips by watching Mike and Declan.
That's fucking weird.
Does Tom Brady kiss his kids on the lips?
I was going to ask the same thing.
I have no. Sounds like it.
That's some weird shit.
Horned Moose, Spicy Sweet Pea, Elaine Kubik, Betty Hill, BDSM photos incoming, Jordan.
Oh, no. We don't want that.
No, nobody wants that.
Jason Carter, Sean Cunt Get Enough, Presley, Tiny Throbber, Captain Cuntbuster, the 3rd of the Bum Battalion, Michael Stalder, Joe Lang, and Heather Albert. Thank you, new patrons.
All right. Ian, what do you got on your end?
Oh, man. Tom Brady really, he really does kiss his son on the lips.
Oh,
yeah.
It's pretty crazy.
How old's this kid?
Too old for that.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy.
Oh,
I don't
man,
want to see that.
No, it's kind of uncomfortable to look at, to be honest. Well, that patron said you taught that you were doing that with that.
I guess so.
Yeah.
That's what they say.
Smoochy Boochie.
Ooh. All right. Well, that's something I found out.
Yeah. Now you're going to be struggling to sleep tonight like me with the maggots. Be thinking about
I
Tom.
swear if I have fucking maggot dreams tonight.
You might. I actually had forgotten about it until just now, but
Not cool.
Ian, what do you got on your end?
On Patreon, we just did, for the Art Bell tier, we just did Last Bites, showing the last meals.
That was a
Went
fun
through some
show.
Guys went through Death Row. Kind of like a mini history of like kind of the workings of last meals.
Yep.
Interesting stuff.
We-
And we're going to do a part 2 this month.
Yeah. was a lot of fun.
We rated everyone that we covered's last meal, which was a lot of fun, and judged them harder than the actual judge probably did.
I was judging people hard. I was judging Ronald Reagan even for jelly beans.
You went off on Ronald Reagan for liking jelly beans. You really fucking got pissed at him.
Well, did I like jelly beans?
So yeah, that's there. Go check that out. We got a bunch of good stuff coming up this month.
We have a banger that's going to open up November, I think.
Oh, it's the ultimate banger.
Yeah. Almost like an Art Bell throwback.
There you go.
That's a fucking teaser. Anything else on your end, Dave?
No, sir.
All right. We are on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube at Necronomipod, patreon.com/Necronomipod, amazon.com, search Necronomipod for all of our merch, and necronomipod.com.
All right, you guys ready for a cool down beer?
Cheers.